here in Piccadilly. I don't get to gig here very often, but what's quite nice is I travelled all the way here from Kent. It's quite enough, brings back a few memories travelling to Piccadilly, because I used to come here a lot when I was a child. About a week ago. I don't like looking young. I find it embarrassing because every time I answer my front door, I get asked that same question. Is your mum and dad in? Right? When I was about 14 or 15, I looked so young, I once got ID'd for a steak and ale pie. It's a very silly joke, I like that one. But no, I'm getting old. I am 22. I'm getting old. So I've lost half of you. I'm getting old. No, like many other 22-year-olds, I'm a very, very anxious person. I really don't mean to be, I sort of panic and worry about everything and anything, right? And I've got a bit of social anxiety, so I love talking to people. I just get very nervous starting a conversation. So you should have seen some of my earliest comedy crowd work, right? It always used to go about like this. He used to go, PC Sam, can I talk to you? Right, that's enough for me. And I shake when I get nervous. None of other nervous people do this, but I shake so badly. If I was a dog, you wouldn't know whether to pet me or put me down. Right? And shaking makes employment difficult because I used to be a waiter. And a waiter scared of people. Every time I delivered a dish, it's like I was carrying a fucking bomb. And I got up on my hands and said, yeah, I should be better at controlling my nerves because I had my first gig when I was 16 years old. Right? But the problem is at such a young age, it wasn't even my nerves, it was actually how relatable can you be? Like, what you talk about, it makes every age group laugh, right? I remember going up on stage for my first ever gig, and I just went, isn't it shit having double maths and science in the same day? And can you believe I got heckled after that? This older guy went, I bet your mum's waiting for you outside. I thought, how did he know? But no, being honest, a lot of my anxiety actually comes from the fact I'm autistic, right? And like, when I first started out in comedy, I found it quite difficult talking about it. I found it embarrassing to talk about it, I'm going to be honest. But then when I've grown as a person, when I've grown as a comedian, I feel like I have to talk about it, right? Because let's be honest, I know you're all thinking it. You know, you're all thinking, this guy's got something, and it definitely ain't talent. You laughed a bit too hard at that one, I appreciate it. I know. I'm diagnosed with Asperger's, do we know about that? Asperger's, yeah. Anyone else know Divergent? You were at the back, we came and coached together, didn't we? Yeah. You were filling out spreadsheets, I was licking the windows. No, I was diagnosed with Asperger's. I was diagnosed at age 5, right? And what they did, they took me to a separate room, got me to play with a load of toys, and they went, he's clearly got it, right? How can you tell from a child playing with a load of toys? I think that's why I'm such a nervous person. I'm so scared of doing anything in fear of getting diagnosed with something else. You know, I'll go to unload the dishwasher and end up with ADHD, right? And I don't know if you know this, that's to change your name with Asperger's to just autism. Did you know this? Yeah. Do you know why? You don't know why? He was a German, so basically the guy who invented Asperger's was a Nazi, right? And I remember asking at a gig, right, I just went, does anyone know why? And this lady went, yeah, the guy who invented Asperger's was problematic. Right? That's the first time any Nazi's been described as problematic, you know? Yeah, they changed the name of Asperger's to just autism. And I was thinking, that's a really bad idea, right? Because why would you do that to a group of people that hate change? It's a change of routine. Autistic people fucking love a routine. Do you love a routine at the back? Yeah, we love a routine. Like, when I was younger, I used to stick to a very strict one. Right, so and I wouldn't divert from it at all. So I used to wake up, have a shower, eat breakfast, go to school, come home, have dinner, go to bed, wake up, have a shower, eat breakfast, go to school, so on and so on. Right, and having a strict routine was important for me. It's something I tried to follow into my adult life, right? But recently it's become harder and harder because I should have left school 5 years ago. But I don't mind talking about my autism, my Asperger's. I feel a lot more comfortable talking about it. But you still get the occasional weird conversation, right? There's these two middle-aged women at one gig. Right, both of them extremely talkative, but neither of them listen to each other. Right? And lady one starts, she goes, oh, I think my son has autism. Because they're saying like they're allergic to the word, you know what I mean? Or like they're trying to use every facial expression possible, which is ironic, because I can't read a single fucking one of them. Right? I think my son has autism. Because he's lazy and unemployed, right? I didn't realise unemployment was a symptom of autism, right? I wish I knew before I started my 40-hour working week, I could have got out of it, right? And lady two parts up, she goes, oh, well my son actually has autism. Like it's a competition for the benefits, right? Yeah, she does. And he's low functioning. And then she looked at me. And she went, oh, I suppose a little bit like yourself. And he's like, oh, thank you very much, I appreciate that, you know? And like, oh, like no offense to any low functioning autistic people, I don't even use that term anymore. I want them to get the help they need, I really do, because I'm alright. You know, the only dangerous symptom I have is I'm a little bit obsessed with air fixes. You know, the little model planes you paint and then sniff the glue afterwards. Yeah? And Lady 2 carries on, she goes, oh, well, I always knew he had something wrong with him, because he's always been a bit lonely and people haven't really liked him. So I could tell it was hereditary. And then to explain to her, every autistic person is very different. We all deal with it in different ways. I had to explain to her, I've got this fucking weird autism where I like feeling things, you know, like textures and materials, right? And I get a lot of enjoyment from it, right? So much so my parents never took me to Legoland, right? They didn't have to, they took me to carpet ride. But I know I've got to be more confident and a more comfortable person. Do I look like a comfortable person, Sam? Didn't believe a single nod. No, I was photo taken by a professional photographer, right? And that's what they fucking tell you, right? Just look natural, look comfortable. How the fuck do you look natural, right? In one photo shoot, this is what I did. Working it? So you're getting around, sir? I don't know what's going on there. I hope you weren't my photographer, that could be some weird sites I was ending up on. And then he went, give us a smile. I look like a dog trying to take a shit. Air fixes? Can I get a reference for air fix? Anyone air fix? You do? What? Are you still doing it?
No, you won't.
Oh, I've just finished a Phantom FGR. Good. What a very forthcoming police officer you are. Yeah, I've got a crime. Fuck off. You know? No, I'll tell you about the time I was comfortable, because it's certainly not now. I was on my driving test. And it sounds weird, a lot of people get very nervous on their driving test, but we did. And I didn't, so I looked at my driver's shelter, and he was so comfortable, he was looking out the window. Right, that's how comfortable he was, playing looking out the window. I was so glad he was looking out the window, because I got so comfortable. I was looking out the sunroof. I was literally on my way here. I was just following this. I was going to the station. I was following this ambulance, and I was a bit late to the gig, so we've got about 100 down the hard shoulder. That is a joke for you at the back, and you. And there's a small little sticker on the back of this ambulance, and she said, "We are working on becoming dementia friendly." Right? And I thought to myself, what the fuck were they like beforehand? What did they do to warrant that sticker? Did you fit into an old lady's house? Slapped her and went, she won't remember that in the morning. That's very mean. That's very mean. See, my nan has dementia. So you've all been very quiet, haven't you? It's just very sad. It's about forgetting things, isn't it? Sometimes she might forget me, sometimes she might forget my parents. A lot of it's actually forgetting where she lives, right? But what's ironic is 14 years ago, my nan's neighbours moved their bins. Right? And to this day, every time she sees that neighbour, she goes, "You've been moving, bastard." But no, you've been great, Piccadilly. I've still got about 40 seconds left, so we'll wait it out. I'm not joking. No, I'm only joking. I'll end on some really good news. I've just had really good news. I've just joined the Army Reserves. I saw the advert. I saw the advert. I was like, I'm just going to go and do it. I've got to prove I can do it. Right? There's just one problem. When I got accepted, I thought I was joining the reserved army, so I was just a little bit shy and introverted. Right? I didn't think we were going to be in a war zone. I thought we were just going to try and look each other in the eye. Right? But it turns out all the Army Reserves are just the army, but part-time. So I've been in Iraq Mondays and Tuesdays, 10 to 1. Thank you very much.